Morning everyone, Saturday morning in December. Going a little bit carp fishing on my syndicate here in Northern Ireland at NICAS. So going to a little water in Dromore, nice little lake. Really heavy rain over the last 24 hours, like really heavy rain, everything flooded, but it should be an ideal condition. So gonna head off here in about the next hour or so. Still dark outside, you probably can't even see out that window, but still dark outside. I'll get the car packed up here, going for a quick day session. So as always, trying to pack everything I need for a day session, but as light as possible because I'm not taking a barrow. There's a story behind that, but I'll update you another time because it's a long story. But basically trying to get the car as close to the gate, get my stuff out, get set up and get some rods in the water. But as always, I'll update you as we go. Fingers crossed, we'll have some semi-decent weather. I'll record as much as I possibly can. And yeah, let's see how we get on. Good morning, everyone. So I've made it here. Didn't take any footage of me going here because bit of a rush, lots of stuff to bring in. See, the bivvy is still a little bit of a mess. I'm trying to go for as minimalistic as possible, but you know, we're here. So we look around. You can see potentially some silvers there in front of you. You can see the water moving. But let me give you a pan. So there's the way in. There's actually the river. That's how much rain I talked about this morning we had. That is up about 5 foot easily. So if we have a little look, there's the river. There's peg one over in that corner. Right round, nice little island there. Water still continues up around the back. I'm on peg two. And you can see where I've basically this whole side of the lake to myself at the minute. There's some people on the other side, but it continues. I'll try to get the drone up later so you can see it all. It is quite big, lots of features. You know, there's two islands just there in front of you, another third one there, and the water continues on around the back. But yeah, it's club water, NICAS club water in Dromore. Really good spot. The guys have done a whole lot of work here, fixing the pegs, taking away all of this weeded area. This was all lots of weed, lots of overhanging branches, and over the past couple of months they've taken it all away. This water's flowing quite heavily too into the river because it isn't flood, but you can see potentially silvers there. Lots of silvers in here. But this is where I'll be fishing. This is where I am today. Like I said, if I can get the drone up, I'll take some drone footage so you can have a look around. But right now, I'm going to get the bait boat and stuff set up, scan the water, pick my spots and get the rods out. Okay, so we've the boat in the water. As you can see, we're just doing a quick scan here of a couple of potential spots. You can see what's going on the screen there. Lots of activity, potentially lots of small fish. Like you can see a lot of stuff going on that screen. Really, I would like a little spot somewhere around here. Just gonna keep driving this around here a little bit, see if I can find something clear, because as you can see from that, it's not exactly clear. You can see the boat there. We'll just keep slowly driving around here. See some lily pads on the surface. Shouldn't be too much of a concern. The boat kind of moves them out of the way anyway. Like 3 rods here, so trying to find a place for 3 rods. Let's go back there. There's a nice wee. If I just go back here a second, that might be a perfect little spot there. Look at that. I think that's the one, folks. That one there. Just on the edge of that island, there's a wee bump there, and then look, it kind of. Just want to try to go back over it again so you can see it here on the. Just clears up enough there. So let's go. That's spot one, and then let's have a look on further up here. I'm just gonna go pretty quickly. You can see the boat moving on up here. Oh, don't hit that massive post that I just ran straight into. You can see it shallows up a hell of a lot there, but very weedy. Look at the weeds on the screen. I'd almost like to put a second one towards the corner of this island where they're likely to be transporting around here. See, that might be a little carp hole there. You see, let me just go backwards. Look at the screen. Something tells me for now this is a good starting spot, because where there's a big drop off like that, Let me just back up a bit, see if we can find exactly where it starts. All right, I'm going to show you some rigs. So actually a rummy rig, stroke spinner rig, whatever you want to call it. I have got a shot on the hook to help it turn. So in essence, fish links here, it's on your hand, it should turn. Like you see, it's already catching my handler. But so it's coming off the edge, smells the fish's mouth, it's already turning. So that little shot on the hook just weights it a little enough to turn it. I've got a tungsten, it's like a float, but automatically closes up the hook link. But in this instance, I'm not using them as I'm not using them for pop-ups. I'm putting wafters on them, but they will be balanced where the hook will be flat on the floor. But the wafter will obviously still be wafting. And then the hope is, if a fish does pick it up, it'll be weighted nicely, and it'll turn around in the fish's mouth real easily, which will obviously in turn hook it. I can't spit it out, just using these little wafters. Just using a little tool here just to bring it in. And I'm sure everyone's seen this 1,000 times. Just get your bait floss, hook it in the mouth, push your hook bait down, whatever it is you're using. I like to push mine down right over, down the swivel a little bit, like so. Trim up a lot of the excess, and then use lighter of torch, in this case like a blowtorch. Just let it sit down there like that, and then basically pat it down. So you can see the top of that. It stops it from moving. And just check everything's in line. So that's about right for me. I want the hook, basically, show this in my hand. I want the lie down flat like this, but this just wafting, just like that. Fish picks it up into his mouth, straight in, hopefully right in the corner where it should be. So that's what I'm using. All three of these will be the same. I'm going for complete confidence in exactly the same setup, not changing about. So yeah, let's see how we get on. All right, peeps, we're gonna try to go to target 1. I'm not doing any automation, I'm just setting it. I've now put this in here because it's starting to rain. So you can see the boat going out, you can see my line. We should be somewhere here. Oh, I think we're bang on, that looks good there. So I'm gonna bring it actually back a little bit, and then I'm gonna control it manually because I had a good visual in this one. So let's not run over everything. Let's make sure we have a nice tight line to the boat. And then let's find that little spot that we run before. Just want to make sure I'm presented here. I don't want to be in the weeds. You can see, sorry, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the boat at the same time. You can see if I would have put that rig there, look how weedy that is. So I'm actually going to bring the boat back to myself here pretty slowly, and then I'm going to go back out to that spot again manually, because I don't want to be in that weed. So we'll just go back out. Memory serves me, it's somewhere there. I couldn't replay back the video, but you guys have just watched it, so you know, can somebody tell me where it is? I think it's a little bit more to the right, but let's just bring it around here. So there's the screen. I'm watching the screen at the same time. So I think there's a nice little hole here. I'm actually going to drop it here. So you'll see right hand box. So I've released the box. That will have released my rod, my rig, everything in the water. And actually you can see, if you look on the screen, you can see my bait and my rig falling in that little archway there. Pretty cool. So what I want to do here is, I always like the back lead, so bear with me. I think the back leads are in my pocket, which I gotta go find over here. Or did I put some in here? I think I put some in here. There we go. A couple of back leads. I just like the back lead up, so any fish go by, I'm not getting constant beeps. You know, it's controlled at that point. I know if I'm getting hits on the line for a reason instead of just something going by. So as you can see, I'm gonna back lead just about there, and then this gives me a chance to reel everything in. So see, I can reel down in, I can get nice and tight. So that's me tight to the bait at this point. So right about there. Once I'm confident in where everything's placed, just feed out enough here. You have to have those MC clips around the specific way so it doesn't pull the rod. And let's put this in here. And on that, that's alarm on, hanger on, bait runner on. Just bring it up a little bit. And that's me, rod 1, fishing in the water. So we'll bring this boat back and we'll get our load up for number 2. Okay, it's I think 20 to 10. All 3 rods are in the water. I think you've seen, so there they are. 3 rods on the water, ready to go. I'm trying to use some solar here for any of the sun that there is. It's pretty grey, but I'm doing something. But that's my setup. The tablet, when I'm not using it for the bait boat, is then for watching some TV. I'll be watching the qualifying of the F1. Come on, Lando. New solar bed with the memory foam mattress. That thing is a game changer for a big guy like me. 6'2", 110 kilos. It's flat foam the whole way here, so other beds you sit on, you kind of disappear off the edge. You know, when you sit on it, it breaks your back. That stays flat and square the whole time. Now, obviously, the setup here, I'm in an angle, as you can see, so it's the best you can get, but the memory foam is amazing. That's the Gardner XL sleep system, which is unreal, super warm. And then I just try to tuck everything in. I've got my power pack for powering everything, solar's there. I've got my camera equipment. I have my drone in this little box here, which I'm hoping to get up in a bit. And then I have some things for a cup of tea, etc. But that's it. I have the boat lifter that was made for me by a good friend and member at NICAS, so really appreciate that because it's a fantastic job. Some bait, only brought one because it is, you know, coming into winter, although we're 10 degrees here today, which is lovely. But yeah, it's set up. I mean, we just now need for fish to come along, but it's still nice to be out. It actually isn't that cold from what I'm wearing. It's about 9 or 10 degrees, so really mild, no wind at all. But you can see, I mean, sorry, you can see from that river behind me, this normally is pretty calm. You can normally see the rocks and stuff at the bottom, like that's how low it normally is, but look at the flow rate of that. It is moving. It's fairly shifting. This would be great for, I think it's great for salmon and trout to see guys usually walk up here in their waders and fly fish. But not today because it is absolutely ripping. But yeah, great lake. It is massive. I'm hoping, like I said, to get the drone up later. Just take you a little walk around, you can have a bit more of a look, but it is massive. It goes way up into the far side over there, and right around here, lots of features, lots of places for fish to hide. So you know, it is one of those places where if the fish aren't in your swim, you're obviously not going to catch because they have loads of places to hide. So we just hope. But as we get on through the day, I'll keep updating you. I'm here. It's only a quick overnight. I think the rain is to come in at like 10 a.m. in the morning, and it's to be 6 mil an hour, really heavy. So you know, that water there will be up even further, this water a bit further, so I want to get packed up and done before then. So for a lot of carpers, this is bivvy life. Lying on bed, chilling out. I can see my my view from outside my bivvy. I have my shoes off. I put a little mat down to protect everything. Rods are there, water's there. But pretty relaxing because I've got Top Gear on here on the TV. Yeah, pretty relaxing. Nothing to report. It's a lovely day. No beeps in the rod, but the rods are in the water, so really just chilling out, and we'll see how we get on. It's now 1:40. Just reset the rods again because I'm thinking it gets dark soon. As I've been constantly saying, I want to see the qualifying here of the F1, so I didn't want that to get in the way. Rain has just started. You can have a look. Hopefully you can see out there the water. Didn't start. It's not overly heavy, but it's raining. The rods are out there. I've kept two in the same spot. One I've changed based on some bailiff advice, where potentially a big fish has come out of before in the past at this time of year. So, you know, while you're at venues like this, always take the advice of the bailiff. They're here, they know the waters, they know more about this than you ever will. So use people's advice, and that's exactly what I've done. So we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. No updates, no real action. I mean, the fish could be absolutely anywhere in a water like this, where I mentioned there's so many areas for them to hide, so much overhang islands, etc., etc. But kept the hook bait the same. The rigs are exactly the same. Just sent them back out by bait boat, and the same way I showed in the other videos. It's exactly the same way that I found the other spot. Just look for somewhere that's clear in about 3.5 feet of water, and we sent it out there. So I think I'm going to leave them there unless anything happens. I'm not bringing them back in until tomorrow when I'm done. I mean, there's no point bringing them in and out. Well, we're just before 4 o'clock, so it's going to be getting dark here soon. Thought I'd do a little update. Nothing really happening here, but I wanted to do something before it got dark. Let's see, I'm in the bivvy. Did rain quite heavily there for about, I don't know, half hour or so. It's getting to the point now, it'll be dark here, I'd say, in maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. Fingers crossed there's some nighttime bites. But nothing to report. As I said in the last one, reset the rods. Just seeing if any carp move in. Water temperature is about 8 degrees, so it's not really, really cold. But yeah, fingers crossed, let's hope. Morning everyone. 6:42 in the morning. Unfortunately not a beep, not a thing. Wasn't that cold this morning, but I don't know if you can see from the bivvy, everything's steaming up a little bit. There's all the condensation down the bivvy. Had a great night's sleep, slept from like 10:30 right to 6:30. So I'm just going to begin packing up. Normally I wouldn't pack up this early, but there's really, really heavy rains due in the next hour or so. So I want to stick on the head torch here and begin the pack down, which is never pleasant, but not pleasant in the dark and trying to rush. I'll maybe do a little outro of this video when I get home. Packed up and home before the rains came, so really happy about that. Just going to get myself showered and changed, and that's get on with the rest of my day. Unfortunately, no catching this time, but yeah, that's carp fishing as it gets into the colder weather. Definitely no guarantees. But yeah, if you like what you've seen, give me a like. It'll help get those videos out there. I'm going to try to do one a week where I can. It might not always be possible, but I'll try to do one a week. I think the next one I'll do is a little bit more pike fishing, depending on the weather. But yeah, I'll catch you next time.